Something very disturbing happened during the YSL RICO trial today. Many even started a petition shortly after to have Prosecutor Love removed from the case for what she was hinting toward. For context, Prosecutor Love was allegedly claiming that Young Thug was doing illegal activities to chase money.
What suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing that money?
Your Honor.
Isn't that what pretty much all of us who aren't independently wealthy have to do every day of our lives?
Your Honor, I'm not saying that it is with certainty that this is what he is saying. What I'm saying is that it is evidence that tends to, or that has a tendency to make a portion of our assertions or our allegations in the indictment true to the extent that it is relevant that he made or said that, made that statement on that posting. He is representing YSL. He is.
I mean, obviously, you know, it's all over his body, but how is the post, the language representing YSL?
As even the judge at the beginning of the clip said, what suggests that he is doing anything illegal by chasing money? Isn't that something that we all do? As throughout the argument, Prosecutor Love was allegedly hinting towards the type of man that Young Thug is the one that chases money illegally. Now, many online looked at it as Young Thug's color of skin and who he's been hanging around with. One commenter even said, crazy, because if Young Thug was white, I bet no one in the law system would accuse him of chasing money by doing something illegal, as the entire courtroom was very surprised at what Prosecutor Love was getting at. This is where even Young Thug's lawyers did something amazing to make Prosecutor Love look terrible. This is when it was reported a gang member on a wiretap complains that Young Thug is the richest man in Atlanta, Georgia, but he refuses to put any money back into the street, confirming that Young Thug actually chases money the legal and right way and doesn't do what Prosecutor Love is hinting toward.
We was just talking about we was just really talking about Spider, like how Charlotte got all these goddamn paper, but really letting these folks really just get the really ups on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way, bro. Like just being real, bro. Ain't no young his age. Charlotte the richest young in Atlanta, Georgia, bro. Ain't having more money than Charlotte, bro. Yeah. Nah, he age now. Like, come on, bro. Ain't having that much more money than Charlotte, bro. Charlotte supposed to be having shit. Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro. Like, no, man, Charlotte supposed to be clean shit up, bro.
But, like, you just look, just see how it is now. Like, and they got some corny him, bro. When we was around him, bro, like, you know, we still gonna do, you know what I'm saying? We still gonna do it anyway, but, like,
yeah.
You feel me? Like, man, damn.
Shit ain't right, though.
As this is only strengthening Young Thug's lawyers' chances of getting their client released. To understand Thug's release date, you first need to hear the outburst by the judge, as it really seems as if Prosecutor Love won't be around much longer. This is when it was reported the judge went off on Prosecutor Love, saying, and I quote, "It is baffling to me that someone with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposely hide the ball for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is that purposeful, unless it is that you are so unorganized that you are throwing the case together as you try it." The judge then had to leave the bench to even take some deep breaths.
I mean, I can't figure out what it is. If it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to, the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful. But honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it.
As this ended up going viral online, even getting the attention of 42 Doug.
Have you been tapped into the YSL case at all, and how do you think That's been...
I've been trying to watch a little bit.
Do you think it's being mishandled?
I think it should have been dismissed. The shit with the judge that just happened.
That just happened.
Crazy, like trying to send his lawyer to jail. From the outside looking in, it's looking like they got something against him.
As the judge is finally calling out the prosecutor for not understanding her job. Her job is to simply display evidence against Young Thug and then bring witnesses to the stand to confirm it to the jury. It's that simple. However, the judge would end up confirming the jury is so lost, and the prosecutor, you have no idea what you're doing.
A, if it can't be deciphered, then I don't think we need to hear it 3 times. It's indecipherable. But B, Miss Love just asked Investigator Gaither, and she said she understood it. It was clear. So I don't know why we're rehashing it.
It's not really whether Miss Sergeant Gaither can understand it or not. I mean, the evidence is being presented so that the jury can absorb it. And I don't know whether the jury can understand what's being said on it or not. Can y'all understand what's being said? Some of them can, some of them can't.
As the judge has been a lot more angry than usual in the last few days. There's been reports being shared about the YSL RICO trial getting investigated by the state for possible case corruption. This, in the end, if confirmed, would make the judge lose her job. This was when it was reported, watch the judge open her mouth here. Is she signaling DA Love to make an objection? Because then she leads Love to keep going until she gets the objection right. What exactly is going on in Fulton County, and is this what our system has come to?
Do you appreciate that sitting here today, your lies have caused Yak tremendous amounts of problems?
Question. Objection improper. Vague speculation. Relevance.
Sustained.
As there's always been a conspiracy ever since the new judge has been placed onto the YSL RICO trial. It seems like every day she has to tell Prosecutor Love what to do rather than just giving the trial a mistrial. As what happened next was even more concerning, as a tweet would share, so it's okay for Adrian Love to show images to the jury underhandedly. As you can see on the screen, the judge is literally looking at Prosecutor Love, who is holding a piece of paper of evidence to the jury, even holding it still for a good few seconds. Clear as day, showing them evidence that was later ended up being denied to even be shown to the jury. However, they already saw it illegally because of Prosecutor Love. This is when Thug's lawyers finally had enough. They would end up going to the stand, making an objection to Miss Love, and Miss Love would just basically troll them by objecting everything they're saying.
Objection.
Do you view that as a benefit?
Hang on.
Okay,
hang
I'm
on.
asking him if he views that as a benefit.
I know, and there's an objection on the floor which I haven't been able to hear yet, so wait and let me hear
My
it.
apologies, Your Honor.
So objection as to misrepresentation, vagueness, when the question is, do you think it's a benefit to you?
But the funniest of it all was even the judge got annoyed moments later of having to help, as Love would end up trying to object again for the 30th time within an hour. The judge finally had enough and told her to stop talking.
But, Miss Love, your objection was sustained, so that's really all there is to it.
Your Honor, I think the main thing to it is that Mr. Sharp
Miss Love, I'm going to take a bathroom break, okay? I haven't had one for the last couple of times that everybody else has.
As higher-ups in the court system will now be investigating the YSL RICO trial, which will result in Young Thug being released. As the case has never looked more corrupt, you tell me if you think it is after hearing this, as the judge's opinions on a mistrial changed dramatically from the beginning of the court day until the end. When it would be announced at the start of the day, judge denies the motion for mistrial, saying that she doesn't think that there was anything bad, but agrees the questioning could have been confusing and asks Miss Love to clarify.
What the line of questioning was, and so a valid objection, it remains sustained, but the motion for mistrial is denied. I am not giving any kind of instruction. You can just fix it by asking the next one.
As the judge would end up denying the mistrial at the beginning of the day with no thought towards it, until realizing the prosecutors truly have no idea what they're doing, because they would end up bringing Quindarius Zachary to the stand. He would end up opening his statement by hitting on an attractive investigator in the courtroom and even asks her to be the one to supervise him at his hotel tonight.
For you to whichever hotel this is, they end up putting. Can it be what? I don't know whether it's going to be that particular investigator or not. It might be, it might not be. It's not going to be up to me.
As the judge does think that it was a little funny at the beginning, but what happened next, you can tell that she got annoyed. As it would be reported, QZ says that he no longer wants his lawyer because he feels like he is working for them, the state. He said that he doesn't think he needs a lawyer at all, and he'll be back on Monday without one.
You don't want that lawyer anymore. All right, well, let me say this. When you come back on Monday, it may be that you want a lawyer. You don't feel like you need any kind of lawyer whatsoever. So what if things change on Monday? All right.
As it would be this moment on when the judge just finally had enough of QZ. She would kick him off of the stand, telling him to practically get lost, and it would be this moment when Thug's lawyer would then submit another motion for a mistrial, and the judge would end up responding using a lot of different words than what she said at the beginning of the day.
All right, I'm going to look back at what the transcript says. I mean, and Ms. Love, you may, given that there's now a motion for mistrial on the floor, in assertion that you did things purposefully, you may respond to that.
I vehemently object to the mistrial. I vehemently object to any mistrial, and I beg the court to look at the transcript and see what I said right before I asked him the people that I just mentioned. And I would ask that the court deems it appropriate that such language is gross and all of the disparaging remarks made by counsel for the defendants are appropriate. That's one thing, but I'd ask that the court limit that type of behavior, which is, not becoming of officers of the court.
I agree with that. It is not becoming.
Not denying it on the spot like she did at the beginning of the day, because it's clear the prosecutors shouldn't even be in the trial. However, what truly won the mistrial over was just moments later, when the judge would end up telling the prosecutors, get the next witness on the stand, as on this particular court day, it was a witness day, meaning the prosecutors had to fill the witness stand with a bunch of witnesses to give evidence to the jury and confirm it. However, after weeks of preparation, they were only able to get Quindarius Zachary, who was only there for 20 days, essentially wasting an entire court day, making the judge very angry.
One of the things I wanted to inquire of one of our investigators about their efforts to secure one of the witnesses and the difficulty that we have had with respect to that witness. I expect that witness will be coming in. It's the one that we've been discussing, but I think it's pertinent information.
Not right now, and frankly, it doesn't matter if you have a particular witness. What you have been instructed is to have enough witnesses to fill the day. Okay, so if one witness is difficult, then you need to have another one lined up. Let's get the jury, please.